had what was it, CBS or whatever emailed us? Who was it? Some hour-long program. Yeah, we could have a 5-minute spot on TV for $5,000, and they would talk about our stuff. Yeah, probably at like 2 a.m. when nobody's on.
You do the talking, and then you pay them.
Oh, right.
And they put it on their show.
Oh, you give them the video. They just
what a great deal.
Air it.
Yeah, that's the system.
And it's sometime when nobody's watching. So anyway, on that note, we wanted to talk about the shows, the trade shows, which is our live TV. You know,
it's not TV anymore, but yeah,
Can Jam and things like that. You know, and
live show.
Yeah, these shows are happening again.
Live action, but with headphones.
Yeah, I don't know when. I think maybe the first one's in September, or October, but there's shows happening all over the U.S. And I think that's the decision that I see a lot of the show makers going forward right now, because we got to get on with our lives, and we're all here, so let's do it. So anyway, as far as we know, the next show we're going to be at will be in February at Can Jam, New York. That's the next one we have planned. We don't usually do the West Coast shows. We leave that to others that might happen to have our headphones over there. So right now we have no idea who's actually doing these shows. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, a lot of things up in the air at this point.
But anyway, about the shows, the cool thing is people get to start playing with the toys again.
Yeah. It's always nice to see all the excited folks out in the community engaging with the new gear and whatnot. Because normally we don't really see these people, right? Normally the only time we really talk to other folks in the community is either in the comments on our videos, which is kind of more of a recent thing for us, or
email
through forums and stuff like that, email, phone calls, which are less common. But we don't really see the sheer volume that you do at a show, and you see people from groups that you don't see normally in our other avenues. We see pretty much the whole, like a considerable selection of the community. You see people that
concentrated
aren't necessarily even interested in your gear.
Yeah, a lot of them are into it too.
Yeah, so
they got some guys coming in here and they bring their own toys, and that way they can compare. Like, they'll bring their own portable gear just to be able to plug someone else's headphone in, because they have a known constant, right?
Yeah.
They're carrying with them. So like, I know what this sounds like. Let's see what your headphones sound like on my stuff. So.
Well, I guess even from our perspective, like, you haven't tried out all the new stuff you've been seeing coming out for like the last year and a half.
That's true.
Normally you just like, go try it out, But
yeah, like the latest
haven't tried anything.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything. No. Yeah, we got the red Diablo here from IFI. That's about all we got in. Yeah. In the meantime, we also got the Bartok, which we did a review on not too long ago. But other than that, we haven't got to play with some of these new amps and DACs and stuff that are out there, and so we have no way to give customers any feedback on it. So it's going to be a cool time for us once we get back out.
I guess it's the same for us as everybody else. Yeah, we got to go try all the new things too.
There's got to be pent up demand. People got to be jonesing. I mean,
you would think
there's a lot of new people, I think, that entered the arena and they've never had a chance to do this.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody being at home, listening to more personal audio stuff.
I wonder if the whole recent debacle got more people interested. If more people got into it as a result, if we're going to see new faces that would have normally never went.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, we saw a ton of new customers through this whole.
How will they actually translate it to a show?
Yeah, they're going to come to shows. So they
never
are they going to show up in force?
Well, there's a number of people who are pretty fearless. But yeah, I have no idea. Time will tell. Yeah,
because it's a new thing, so we'll see how the attendance is at shows in the future.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
Well, there's a few shows coming in the next few months before we'll be out. So the first one's the guinea pig. That one will be kind of the leader to see, okay, are people showing up? Because I guess I don't think anyone really knows, until you sell the tickets. Until
the people show
up.
Yeah, right.
That too. Yeah. So we'll see. I think they will. I think it'll be lighter than it used to be, because there's probably a number of people that figure the risk outweighs the benefit, and they won't go.
Yeah,
I get that. Or they're not really interested in buying anything, or there's nothing they really need. The older folk that have been around the block a few times probably won't care so much.
We do have a lot of people asking us about shows, when we're going to do a next one, what show we're going to do, and whatnot. And I think there's a lot that the general public doesn't quite see that happens at trade shows. For like a exhibitor perspective, they're probably a bit different than the consumer would expect. There's a lot of preparation and effort that gets put into it to ensure that your gear is all in place and gets shipped there and arrives on time. you have every cable and accessory and whatever you would need to make sure your stuff works. Because if you're missing something, well, where do you go to pick up some high-end obscure
Yeah,
niche
there's
thing,
no more
right?
Radio Shack or anything anymore.
That's true.
You're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
You got to have it all.
If it isn't in the Apple store, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, we do end up bringing way more than we need. It always
Yeah.
ends up, but it's like,
It's amazing how much prep time there is to do a 6-foot table at a
Yeah,
show.
It
it's
doesn't
silly.
look like
It looks like
anything, no?
nothing, right?
Yeah.
But it's a few days
Yeah.
to make sure you got everything nailed down.
And we come from doing a room full of stuff. We used to do
well, that's a whole
an entire
different
room with
thing,
3, 4, 5 high-end systems.
yeah, pallet of stuff.
Now that was kind of brutal. That's more than a week setup there because we physically shipped 300-400 pounds of stuff in a huge box on a pallet. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was serious. We kind of stopped doing that. That was just too much like work, you know. So,
Well, and you don't need to do it in like New York where you just got a table. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot more value out of shipping a pallet when you're doing headphone
Although
stuff.
some of the guys, they do a whole room there. They got every one of their amplifiers in there. That's a lot of product, but they just happen to live there too.
that helps.
So I think they could drive the stuff.
Yeah, well,
there.
yeah. If
That
they
saves
forget
a lot of
something, it's like,
trouble.
oh, I could go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But inevitably, it seems like you always forget some critical thing, and so now you can't hook up this thing the way you expected,
Never fails.
right? And that's a real issue.
It's
So
usually some damn adapter.
always some silly adapter, and it's hard to get.
Yeah.
Nobody else has a spare. You can't just buy one. You don't have a car either, so
Remember
it's a
once
whole nightmare.
we brought that gold Sony portable player and we didn't
Yeah.
bring the cable for it. It takes
Charging
like
cable.
yeah, it's like a unique cable for. Of course,
Oh,
we
right.
went to see the Sony distributor. They're
Yeah.
like, we ain't got one.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we'll play it till it's dead. Nothing else we could do, you know. So yeah.
No. We borrowed a whole new player from them. That's what we ended up doing.
Oh, yeah.
We got the black one instead of the gold one.
Ah,
They had a new one in a box.
There's a lot of things like that though,
Yeah.
because they gave us a new player with a cable,
Yeah.
but it was dead too.
yeah, right.
Oh,
So
right.
it takes hours to charge.
All
So
right,
for that whole
overnight.
day, we
Yeah.
couldn't use
Yeah,
it,
right.
right?
Yeah.
And there's things like this that you don't think about, but you need to make sure if you have battery-powered gear and it doesn't take 15 minutes to charge, it's charged before you leave. Otherwise, you don't know if the power is going to be on overnight at these shows.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, they turn
Yeah,
the
that's
power
right.
off,
Right.
so you can't just plug something in. You got to take all the stuff with you, take it back to the hotel or something, so you can plug it in and charge it. You got to make sure you have every cable, every little dongle, adapter. Sometimes you have a bit of gear that doesn't survive the shipment. Sometimes a box doesn't make it. Something happens. The way you had it packed, it hit this, it broke this jack off. There could be all kinds of issues, and you got to try and accommodate
Yeah,
them
we
ahead
have a
of
box
time.
that shows up like a day later.
Sometimes, yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, we try to ship stuff 2 days before the show, but
So it
so
arrives.
it gives it an extra day or two. But even then, you know, if you're over a weekend, like UPS and that tend not to deliver on Saturday, so you're pretty much screwed. You can't even get anything till the show's over.
Right.
You couldn't overnight something
Yeah,
to
yeah, it's
yourself
too
because you're
late.
screwed. I mean, Saturday delivery usually you can get away with it, but yeah. Any bottom line is that we've run it out a million times. In fact, we've learned to split our show gear up into multiple boxes. So we always have a box. Even if one box made it,
Oh.
we'd have something to play.
Yeah, you got to think about what's
You
in
can't
the
put all your
boxes.
amps in one box.
Right,
You're
right.
screwed if that box doesn't show up.
Right.
Yeah, you
So-
could cobble something together.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We've learned to kind of always have
You
some
try
box
to set it up
Yeah,
so that
have
if you have
something.
any one of these boxes, you have a system that
yeah,
works.
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work that way,
No.
but you know,
Because
usually-
inevitably, you get there, you looked at your tracking ahead of time. All the boxes were delivered, allegedly,
right.
but they're not there.
Yeah,
They're not where they're supposed to be. They're not your room, your booth, your table.
yeah. They put them in the wrong room somewhere.
Right. And so you go to contact Dimitri over at FedEx,
That's right.
which apparently is no longer there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
upsetting. Dimitri isn't at the FedEx.
Yeah. What was the hotel there? What's
Marriott.
the Marriott? Yeah, right in
Marriott
Times Square,
Times
right?
Square,
yeah. Yeah. Cool
He
place.
isn't there anymore. So now you can't even contact Dimitri to go find your box.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good luck
Normally
with
he'd
that.
hook you up.
Yeah.
Well, then you got the first problem that we always run into that I now solved is no knife to open the box. So you're struggling to open the boxes with your keys every time.
Yeah, or borrowing a knife from
Yeah,
somebody.
right. And then
yeah, that took a while for us to figure out how to
took
bring
a while.
something sharp
Something as simple as a knife. Yeah.
because you can't bring it on the plane.
Well, you can check it. That's what it, I check a knife.
check a knife.
in your checked luggage.
yeah,
It's a big thing. And you don't have like screwdrivers and stuff like
Yeah.
that to assemble stuff.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a whole ordeal.
Yeah. Now we have a kit. It's got a soldering iron, screwdriver.
Yeah, we're prepared now. Yeah.
Took like 10 years.
The soldering
to figure
iron
that
was the
out.
hard part. Wow, yeah, we haven't had that in a while.
We got a nice little mini repair
We had to
kit,
borrow
yeah.
that from somebody one year. It's like we got to get our own kit.
Yeah.
It's a reasonable idea.
Yeah.
Inevitably, something crashes into something gets yanked off, something falls, breaks something. And it's an easy fix, but we don't have anything.
Yeah, right. Can't even open the case.
Right.
So now we make sure we have a screwdriver that opens everything we have at the booth. So we could take the cover off, replace a fuse, something stupid like that. Craziness. But yeah, that's still.
And actually, a lot of times we had issues with power, which the average person on the street probably wouldn't be aware of that. But it's sometimes at shows, power's a big issue.
Yeah.
You don't have power, or the only place with power is like 3 tables over, and they're running on generators or something like that, and the power is erratic. The voltage swings all over.
Yeah.
We had a couple times where they were running on a generator, and there was a bit of an issue, and all the gear kind of popped because it's all like 277 instead of 120 or something.
Yeah, they lost a ground or something and
something
threw
happened.
240 at it.
And everything went kablamo.
It's like, ouch.
That's hard to prepare for.
It's really hard to
You need
prepare for.
redundant everything.
Everything that was plugged in is popped.
Yeah. That's what a breaker is for.
Right.
Yeah.
The consumer doesn't see any of these things.
Yeah.
They just walk in expecting stuff to work, and usually it's no problem, but sometimes there's a lot of stuff you got to account for that can be difficult.
Yeah. In fact, now that you mention that, I think one thing we got to add to our kit is fuses. I don't think we carry those mini fuses.
That is a good idea.
And you will be screwed if you somehow manage to blow a fuse in something. You're just not going to be able to get one. I can't think of anywhere I could get in my car right now and drive and get a 5 millimeter by 20 millimeter fuse
well,
at 1
it would
or
have
2
to be
amps.
automotive. They would probably have the
That's
only
right,
play.
and that's it.
Well, especially if you don't know where you are. If you're not in a familiar area, it's I don't know.
But I mean, even locally here, knowing the area, I can't think of anywhere to go to get a freaking small fuse. Doesn't exist. Crazy.
It's hard to come by.
Yeah, we need a Radio Shack again. They need a modern Radio Shack.
A modern.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're flying off the shelves.
Yeah, that's the
or
problem.
The gear at those places aren't flying off the
No,
shelves.
but
so.
you think
There's
they
a
could,
reason why they don't exist anymore.
I guess. Who knows?
So Amazon next day. That's the best you got.
But it seems like these things, that's the thing. Everyone gets on Amazon, but you can't get it the same day.
Yeah.
Some places.
Some places.
Some
you
places,
can.
yeah. The little helicopter comes and brings it over.
No, they're working on that.
Not yet. That would be the ultimate solution, though. Yeah.
That's a good option. You pay like
15 minutes.
$10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Get it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
One fuse on a.
That would be really
drone.
cool. Yeah. I'll buy 100 of them as long as it gets there.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow. 10
Could be expensive.
10.
Hell, nowadays you buy 100 pack of mixed fuse sizes in a box for $11 shipped from
That's
Amazon. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who knows if any of them actually work? But,
Well,
but they look like fuses.
they look like fuses.
Yeah.
That's
I
important.
suppose if you put enough power to them, they will blow at some point. But
that's true.
anyway, we are really rambling on. So anyway, we look forward to hearing about the upcoming shows, see how much you guys enjoy them. And we look forward to seeing you guys in February. Assuming things stay the same and keep getting better, we'll be there. So take care, everyone. Thank you.